Hi everyone, this is Mix from Sneaks and Ball PH, and today we have a detailed review on the Nike Zoom GT Cut. Before we get started, if you like this video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. And if you have any comments, questions, or any suggestions for future videos, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below as well. Then I'll also be leaving a link to the SNBPH Sneaker Hunters Facebook group in the description box. So I do hope you're able to join us because we do talk about sneakers and basketball quite a bit over there. And that's also where I hold my monthly giveaways. Then if you haven't already yet, I do hope you can subscribe to the channel because it really helps us out quite a lot. Then with that out of the way, let's take a look at the Nike Zoom GT Cut. The Nike Zoom GT Cut is actually the first installment of Nike's Greater Than series, which kind of caught people by surprise because, we have your standard signature shoes, you have your PGs, your Kyries, your KDs, your LeBrons, your budget models of those signature shoes as well, and then you also had your sort of Nike Hyperdunk replacements in the Nike Zoom BB NXT, as well as the Nike Zoom Rise 2. But they did come out and announce the Greater Than series, starting off with the Zoom GT Cut, the Nike Zoom GT Run, which will release sometime in summer 2021, and the Nike Zoom GT Jump, which will release in late 2021. All three of these shoes in the Greater Than series is supposedly to maximize a specific movement. So with the Zoom GT Cut, it is supposedly gonna help you feel a little bit more quick and a little speedier as well without sacrificing any cushion or comfort. That was actually the main story of the shoe because there was a little bit of an article on Nike.com where they did say that the design team consulted Sabrina Ionescu, who is pretty much like a women's basketball phenom because she really did light up the WNCAA by being the all-time leading scorer in women's Division 1 basketball history, the first overall draft pick in the 2020 WNBA draft, and someone who was pretty much living up to the hype and lighting up the WNBA in her first season before it was abruptly cut by injury. Anyway, moving back to the shoe, they did consult Sabrina throughout the design process, and her main concern being a shifty scoring guard was that, she wants to play fast, wants to play quick on her feet, but the shoes that she wore that gave her that sort of fast and low to the ground sensation were also not the comfiest and kind of lacked a little bit of bounce back and impact protection as well. So what Nike ended up making, because of her inputs and other NBA players as well, was a shoe that I think a lot of people are gonna like and might even be a shoe that could be the best shoe we've had in around 5 to 10 years. That is saying a lot, but the whole concept of having comfort and speediness as well is something that I think the shoe delivers on. So getting into the tech specs on the Nike Zoom GT Cut, here on the outsole you have this sort of heartbeat looking pattern, and it's a little bit more widely spaced here at the midline of the shoe and a little closer together here on the lateral and medial side. I haven't been able to try these out on court just yet because we're still kind of in a lockdown, so I was only able to try these on my wood floors at home, and from just doing that, it seems really grippy and really good. So at least for now, I think that on clean courts, these will be an absolute beast. I'm just hoping that on dustier courts, you don't lose that grip, because if this traction can perform well on dusty courts as well, then I think its case for shoe of the year is going to be pretty strong. The grooves on the rubber outsole are a little bit shallow. However, the nice thing is that the rubber is really hard, so I think the durability of the outsole on indoor and outdoor courts is going to be above average. Then for the cushion, this was pretty much the main selling point of the shoe because it was supposed to feel very fast while still being really comfy, and in my own personal opinion, they just knocked the ball out of the park with this one. So what you have on the cushion on the Nike Zoom GT Cut is a bottom-loaded heel zoom unit, a full-length zoom strobel unit which they're calling a parabolic zoom strobel, and a pretty thick full-length drop-in React midsole. It actually does remind me quite a lot of Nike's fast-running shoes because it's sort of designed to make you go forward and want to go forward, and the shape is not only here on the exterior, but that's also how the zoom unit looks and how the React midsole looks as well. So I did take out the React drop-in midsole from the other shoe, and as you can see, it is heavily curved. So essentially what's happening in the shoe is that your heel is raised up a little bit, and it really just tries to push you forward like a running shoe, which in my opinion would make anyone feel hella fast. The React midsole is actually not that thick because the thickness you see here is mostly the sidewalls for support, but it really helps with the overall step-in comfort as well as the impact protection. And then the full-length zoom strobel unit is the one more in charge of all of that bounciness, and it also has a curved shape as well, so it just makes it feel a lot more bouncy and a lot more flexible as well. Then for the materials, this was also pretty interesting because they really wanted to make this a very lightweight and fast-feeling shoe. However, in the past when we would have really lightweight shoes, it's either they had durability issues, some stability issues, or even some issues with the overall comfort because most of the time to make it thin and durable, they would put a lot of plastic in the shoe. But with this shoe, they were able to achieve that sort of lightweight and breathable feeling while having pretty comfy materials as well. The main body of the shoe is this very open knit, and it doesn't really indicate anywhere that they use Flyknit, nor does it indicate in the website. But the amazing thing about the knit is that it is pretty open-celled, so you can kind of see the orange or red underneath. But it also doesn't feel like it's fused with any plastic thread or that it's glued down at all. And it just feels really malleable and lightweight. Then you also do have a neoprene tongue and a neoprene toe as well. And this actually feels pretty comfy. And it's not every day that we have a shoe with neoprene on the toe. And you also have some holes in there for additional ventilation. Then rounding off the other materials, they're more for like structure, strength, and support. So you have this thin layer of fuse here at the eyelets and plastic on the Nike swoosh, as well as what they're calling the Railguard. This Railguard is pretty interesting because this is where most of the support actually comes from. Because as I said, the upper overall is just really minimal, really breathable. So the majority of your lateral support really comes from this rubbery plastic piece, as well as those super high sidewalls from the React drop-in midsole. Then you also have a nice sculpted and padded neoprene sock liner and some really nice feeling oval laces. And it was actually kind of surprising because it's not often where I feel really quality laces, and the laces on the shoe are kind of the most premium laces I've seen in any basketball shoe that I've reviewed so far. Then for fit and sizing, I did go true to size with the Nike Zoom GT cut, and it fits me perfectly well. It actually fits kind of similar to those Nike Kobe 6 Pro Throws that we just reviewed, also maybe like the Kobe 8s or the Kobe 11 EMs. And then the benefit of that neoprene on the top of the forefoot is that even though it rests on top of your toes, since it is so soft, I don't think it will cause any discomfort. So my recommendation for the sizing is that if you have a narrow foot or normal width foot, definitely go true to size. Then if you have a wide foot, I do recommend that you go up half a size because I think that rubbery plastic Railguard is going to dig into your feet. So just to be safe, wide footers, go up half a size. Then for the aesthetic details, you actually do have quite a bit on the shoe even though it is predominantly black. But starting off with the outsole, that rubber is actually semi-translucent, so you can kind of peek through it and see that Zoom heel unit as well as the Zoom strobel unit goes full length. And then here at the midfoot, you have this cutout that exposes the Zoom strobel, and you also have Zoom strobel branding on there as well. Then moving on to the midsole, that rubber does come up here at the lateral side of the forefoot and also comes up on the entire medial side. Then on the exposed parts here at the heel, you do have a little bit of black foam, but you also have this rubbery plastic that comes from the lateral side of the heel all the way to the back of the heel where you have that Nike branding. I find this Nike logo to be very interesting because it's that classic Nike font. However, they sort of cut out a greater than within the eye, and I think that's a really cool look and a really cool touch. And then on the lateral side, that Railguard does have an interesting color because it has this light periwinkle blue with this very light mint green as well. Then on the upper, you do have that same blue and green on the gradient Nike swoosh. Then for the rest of the upper, it is predominantly black because you have black on the neoprene on the toe and the tongue, black on that knit that goes all throughout the shoe, black on the synthetic nubuck heel tab, and black on the sock liner. Then for the other minor details on the upper, you do have this glittery Z on the eye stay areas. And then on the lateral side, it does have crimson text that says create separation. And on the lateral side, it says Nike 2021. On the medial side as well, you do have this red rubber patch with 001. Not really sure what the 001 is for, but maybe this is the 001, then the GT run is the 2, and the GT jump is the 3. Then on the heel tab of the left shoe, you have GT. And on the right shoe, you have this pretty cool looking Z logo which has some arrows. It looks kind of like a lightning bolt. And I'm not sure if that's the logo for the entire GT series or if it's just the logo for this GT cut. Then for the overall aesthetics, I just think that overall the shoe looks super fast because you have those swooping lines, those lightning bolt looking details. Even the Nike swoosh has this gradient and the midsole has that curve to it. And overall, it doesn't really look that much like a basketball shoe. It kind of looks more like a fast running shoe or a fast futsal shoe. And in my opinion, I really do like it. I might have preferred that white and red colorway because it did look like the Flash. But one reason that I'm happy with this black colorway is that neoprene on the forefoot is also black, which is definitely not gonna get dirty as much as white neoprene. I do like that neoprene on the forefoot, but I wish that they just made the neoprene red on that other colorway because I can just imagine how dirty and hard to clean that would be if you use those and your foot got stepped on quite a lot. I also really like the accent colors used on the shoe. I mean, we do see crimson used a lot, but just having that very light mint green and that very light periwinkle blue on the shoe as well, I just find that a really nice touch. Of course, that is only my opinion, so please leave a comment in the description box whether you like the look of the GT cut, and if you do, which colorway would you prefer? Would you prefer this black colorway or the white and red one that really is reminiscent of the Flash? Then for the price, the Nike Zoom GT cut retails for 8,695 pesos here in the Philippines or $170 US. I'm really not sure what happened with the conversion on the price of these shoes because they are technically $10 cheaper than the Kobe 6 Pro. But here in the Philippines, they're pretty much the same price. So I don't know what happened there, but it is what it is. This was a little bit surprising because like I said, this isn't a signature shoe. It's more of a Nike team shoe. And when I did see the price, I'm not gonna lie, I did hesitate on whether or not to get these. But I am happy that I did get them because they do seem like an amazing shoe. I do wish though that they could have gotten the price down to 160 or 150 because I think that it could have made the appeal of the shoe that much greater. It does seem like it's selling pretty well though because I got these over at Nike.com, but as of the moment they're surprisingly sold out, so I don't know if it's just because they were on members access, but I do expect them to be more available in this colorway and the white and red colorway very soon. So there you have it guys, that was my detailed review on the Nike Zoom GT Cut. So once again, if you haven't already yet, please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications. It would help us out a lot. Here at Sneaks and Ball, PH.